From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Hello everybody and welcome to All-Star 15 TV. We're bringing you tonight the Extreme Forces Racing League, their Round 2, Race 1 from Dover International Speedway. In the broadcast booth with me, like always, my good buddy, my racing friend, and teammate, TJ Barnier. TJ, how are you, dude?
I'm doing great, AJ. I can't wait to get this race going. We are at Dover tonight. It's going to be slick and fast.
And a little special guest. I'm going to be working with this gentleman a lot more in the coming weeks with a league on Wednesday nights starting on September 7th. Getting him a little broadcasting time. It's team owner of Riot Motorsports, Mr. Gary Wells. How are you doing, pal?
Doing pretty well, man. I've just been watching these guys here at practice here tonight in these ARCA cars. Hot and slick, as TJ was talking about. 130-degree track temp right now. It's going to be a wild race here tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. You'll see a lot of them mess around in practice, have some fun. But when it really gets into it, this league is known for very long runs, very fast cars, and literally anybody can win. So TJ, kind of let everybody in on kind of what we're looking at tire-wise and fuel-wise. I know you and Gary both were doing your own little venture in that. Why don't you let everybody else in on how fuel and tires are tonight?
Chances are you're going to be burning them tires off tonight pretty quick. I know when I was practicing, this thing was sliding all over, so I'm sure the other guys are experiencing the same thing. I spoke with a team. I don't want to name names. Or North Motorsports. They say 43 laps on fuel, so we'll keep that in mind as we get going green tonight, and keep an eye on when green flag pit stops happen.
All right, well, you heard that from TJ. Gary, we're going to get a little background on you because it's been a long time since anybody in the Extreme Forces Racing League has heard from you. How have you been? What have you been up to? And what brings you to Dover International Speedway?
Well, been up to quite a bit. A lot of things have happened over the last few weeks since I've done that Daytona race. Excited to be back. Excited to be in the booth here more often just in general. Doing pretty well tonight. Looking forward to a great race, and I think it's going to be an exciting one. The track temp, to me, this is the highest I've ever seen it for a Dover race. 129 degrees, 130 degrees here tonight. They can only go about 40 some laps on fuel. I mean, it's going to be interesting, because if you could survive the first 10-15 laps and really focus on saving your stuff and saving your tires, that's really going to help you if we do get any long runs here tonight.
TJ, got anything off of that? Because I know you and I have run a couple races here at Dover, just messing around.
I think it's just, the key is the survival part. If you can get strung out at this place, it's usually not a hard track to, make time up on guys around you, but the restart, hopefully it's just one tonight, may not be, is going to be wild until they get kind of separated. And with as slick as it was, it's going to be dangerous. And we saw last week with the trouble at the time leader through green flag pit stops had as he was going through traffic, and he got caught up and eliminated from the postseason. So just got to be careful until you don't need to be careful, I guess.
Yeah. And one thing that we haven't mentioned yet on this broadcast is Dover, with these high banks, even on these straightaways here. It's a very self-cleaning racetrack, so if you bound to hit the outside wall at any point, you're probably going to hit the inside wall too. So that's just going to be one of those things these guys will have to negotiate. If you see wrecks in front of you, your best chance is probably going to that high side, and you'll probably miss most of the carnage.
So I sent both of you the list of the point standings, and I'm pulling that up right now. What kind of pops out at you guys when looking at this point standing as they sit right now?
For me, I mean, obviously I've been here the last X number of races, and I know Gary usually watches, so Gary kind of has an idea. The big one for me right now is with the reset, nobody's safe. And we've seen the last few weeks, till late last week, I wouldn't have thought Kyle Lingerfelt would have been as high as he was in the points, because he was on the verge of being out in my mind. And then, all chaos kind of broke loose there, and it flipped with the caution in the middle of the cycle. So, I mean, this first race, you can't miss a beat because you are in danger of being eliminated from the simplest mistake.
Yeah, Dover is one of those places where if you have one mistake, that could really ruin your night in a heartbeat. Kind of the same things that TJ was talking about. I'm kind of watching for this cut line here. Between 4th and 8th, they're separated by 4 points. So it's going to be one of those things where people are just going to have to really be on their game and pay attention to what's going on and making sure that you survive. I think the key tonight, as TJ kind of alluded to a little bit earlier, is survival, getting through the carnage, and just making sure that you have a clean car to make it to the end of the race with.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the hardest thing to do. These turns seem very tight in any vehicle, and we've seen countless people just in this practice session alone as it's winding down get really tight out of turn 2 and out of turn 4 and just completely wreck the race car. And with that, you have a lot of cars involved.
Yeah, you definitely can, especially if you do it towards the front of the field. Here at Dover, I mean, towards as you get into a long run, you definitely want to be single file by corner exit. But I mean, we have seen here before in the past where you could get a lane, maybe 2 lanes wide here at Dover. But again, like you said, close quarters in these corners here. I mean, it's very tight to get through. And what I've said in the past is this is just kind of like a Bristol on steroids. It's just one of those things. This track is fast, it's high banked, and it's concrete. And that's really the only other comparison we have outside of Dover is Bristol.
Well,
it's like Bristol's big brother.
Yeah, just like how New Hampshire's Martinsville's big brother. Or at least that's what I call it.
I don't disagree.
So for everybody watching at home, thank you for tuning in to All-Star 15 TV. This is the second round of the EFRL playoffs. It's their first race. So they have this beautiful racetrack here at Dover International Speedway. We are off next week, but we return to Michigan on September 12th. Now that is 2 different tracks. You have Dover this week, and in 2 weeks we have Michigan before we head to the finale at Charlotte. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be definitely wild. I feel like tonight is going to be an anybody can win, but going off to Michigan in 2 weeks, you're going to need a lot of help with draft and a bunch of other things need to go your way, let's put it that way. But as practice is over, we're going to jump over to qualifying. Gary, I'll start with you. How important is qualifying up front here?
Oh, the track position is very crucial here, AJ. I mean, we've got 25 guys in this field here tonight. You're going to have to definitely be within that top 10 in order to have a shot at the win. because passing here, especially after you get strung out and these tires get old, it is nearly impossible to make a pass here cleanly. You can make passes here, but it's very hard to make them in a safe manner as the run goes on.
Oh, 100% correct. TJ, what are your thoughts on qualifying as we're looking at Lee Krause right now in that Ninja Turtle 99 car getting loose out of turn 4? Bueller. Okay, so while we're experiencing some difficulties with TJ right now, there's Dylan Dunford about to put up a lap time. For everybody playing the home game, on the left part of your screen where it shows the countdown and the list, if their number is in yellow, they are underneath the cut line. If it's in blue, they are safe for the time being. This weekend at Michigan, we will fix it so you guys can see how much everything has changed. But until then, right now, Dylan Dunford and Devin Smith 1-2 on the pylon on the left side of your screen. Oh boy, this is going to be absolutely insane. Look at those times and how close they are. Gary, it's a very difficult track for me, but these guys are putting down some lap times that are well faster than I was expecting.
Oh yeah, these guys can get around Dover here pretty quick. I'm surprised that they actually didn't pick up even more time. I was thinking that these guys would probably be in the 3s and 4s here, but that just goes to show you from practice to qualifying how much the track has changed, especially with the conditions as far as getting rubber down on the racetrack.
Yeah, we're currently looking at Farron Elam right there. He'll go P6. Austin Green in the 15 coming off of turn number 4 for his second lap. Where's that going to post him? He will stay P8. Kyle Lingerfeld right now P12 onto the backstretch, hauling the mail. A little loose out of 2.
And that's the key here at Dover, too. Just putting together that perfect qualifying lap. I know as a driver, for me at times here, I kind of hold my breath for 2 laps just to make sure I hit my marks perfectly. And
Kyle
everything
Lingerfeld
like
goes
that.
P1. Very fast lap. Playoff driver Brandon Richardson in the 29. He's going to go.
Yeah, a few hundreds faster. First guy in the 5s here tonight for qualifying.
Yeah, very fast. Alan Warnicki's going to go P12 to start for the time being, but just on the racetrack, the 39 of John Bartlett. We're watching him as he's attempting his first qual lap right now. And here he comes off of turn 4 back to the line. Does he improve from 16th? And survey says he's going to stay right at 17th. But Zachary Thornton goes P1 in that 35.
Yep, fast lap here for him. And he's on lap 2, so he's looking to pick up a little bit more here in turns 3 and 4 this time.
Definitely trying to. As it looks like TJ has...
He lost it off before there.
Oh, TJ, you back now, pal?
I am. I've trying to reestablish my satellite connection here to the racing feed.
Oh, noes.
Apparently, internet didn't like me there for a minute.
10-4. Glad to have you back.
48 of Will Cloud on the racetrack now. After his first lap, just trying the diamond 3 and 4. At speed, he will go. No lap posted.
Did you get a time on that one for lap number 1?
No, I didn't. Probably scraped the wall.
I would imagine. And he's not going to get a second lap in because qualifying's over, AJ. Checkered flag.
Qualifying is over, and this is
he's going to start P18.
This is how they are going to grid tonight for the Monster Mayhem 120. Row number
That's
1,
interesting.
it is Zachary Thornton, Kyle Lingerfeld. Row 2, Dylan Dunford, Devin Smith. Row number 3, Travis LaPenis and Matthew Setzer. Row 4, Jake Ellingson, Farron Elam. And row 5, Tyler Aspinall and Brandon Richardson. 11th place, starting Austin Green. 12th, Lee Kraus. Alan Warnicki is going to start 13th. 14th for Daniel Stagner. 15th, Frank Hughes. 16th, Bradley Stefane. 17th, John Bartlett. 18th, Will Cloud. Josh Fox is going to start 19th. And Jackson Qualley is going to start in the 20th position. All right, now that we've seen qualifying, who's everybody's picks to win here tonight? Gary, I'm going to start with you, pal.
Oh, do I go with the obvious? You know, I was watching him in practice. I liked how he looked in practice. I am going to go with the number 3, Matthew Setzer.
All right. TJ, are you back in sim yet?
Yes, sir, I am.
Well, take your pick, sir.
Until somebody can prove me wrong, I'm taking Zach Thornton.
Well, who you got, AJ?
Well, I'm actually going to take the number 27. Starting in 7th place, Jake Ellingson. He has been getting faster and faster every week, getting caught up in something he puts himself into. I think this is the week he's going to put together a full race. That's what I'm thinking. I could be wrong. Probably
I
not.
don't hate the pick. That was probably my second pick.
Well, we're just waiting on a couple more cars before gridding. Everybody, do me a favor. If you're watching for the first time, hit that like button, subscribe to All Star 15 TV. YouTube has this wonderful, and if you couldn't sense it, very sarcastic, wonderful algorithm. So if you could help out the channel, help myself out, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We have 3 more races, including this one, to the end of the year, and I'd like to throw it out there that we will be back for the short ARCA season to bring us into the new year before they start their next big season. Engines are about to go live. You are watching the Extreme Forces Racing League on All-Star 15 TV. Bottom right-handed corner, thank you to all the sponsors, Wrestling Over Everything. Their links are down in the description, along with the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. Go check them out. New episodes every Tuesday, live streamed on YouTube, and Friday for audio listeners. But we are ready to go. There it is. Green flag here at Dover International Speedway for the Monster Mayhem 120.
Yeah, everybody minding their P's and Q's so
No,
far.
they're
AJ,
not.
everybody's side by side.
No,
oh,
they
we got
are
a yellow.
not.
We got a wreck
Well,
already.
mid-pack, they didn't like your P's and Q's.
They did not like
back
your
here.
P's and Q's.
Oh, let's see what happened here. Oh, the 99, it looks like.
The
Maybe got into the wall.
99 and no fast repairs. That's going to eliminate a bunch of drivers out already. Let's take a look and see if any of these are playoff bound.
Oh, it looks like the 99 kind of slapped the wall and couldn't get going, AJ.
Yeah, I wonder if he just stepped on it too hard.
Yeah, could have been one of those things, or maybe he spun the tires. That's another thing, critical thing here about Dover and Dover Motor Speedway here. You can't really quite pound the throttle. If you do, you get loose. And then once with these cars, I've noticed with the ARCA car in general, TJ can attest to this. Once you get sucked up into that fence, it's hard to pull the car off the fence.
Yeah, it eats you. Miles gets a bite in, you don't let go.
Looking at drivers that are in the playoffs into it, I don't think Alan Warnicki was in it. I think he started from pit road, which kind of saved his day there. But
you would be correct. It looks like he did start from pit road, AJ.
But other than that, I think everybody in the playoffs made it through, which is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, for sure. We see a few guys pitting, obviously, to repair damage and those kind of things. Only get 3 tire changes here tonight. Of course, the one you start with, so you get 4 tire sets, but these guys are going to be repairing their damage early.
Yeah, warning.
Yeah, little spotter report. There was some apologies from the 99. He said he just got in the wall and couldn't get out of it. And then he said something to the 3 car I dare not repeat, for Mama would not be happy with me.
10-4 about the 3 car.
Week's incident.
Now, we were talking before the race started on how difficult Dover can be. Was that just spitting the tires and people know where to go, or is there something with a concrete racetrack when it comes to tire wear and everything?
Well, it's kind of like this when you're on and this is how a driver broke it down for me once. When you're on concrete, like when you're on concrete on the interstate, you know how you hit those joints and you hear the ka-thump, ka-thump, ka-thump as you go down the highway?
Yes.
That's what these guys are experiencing only at 170 miles an hour. So they're hitting these joints like you would in a passenger car on the interstate. And not only that, after a few laps, after the tires start to wear out, we've heard the expression before where the tires bounce around like basketballs. We'll start to see that here a little bit too here tonight, because once the rubber gets built into the racetrack as we get going, it'll build into the racetrack. But once we're under caution, it seems like that rubber doesn't stay in the racetrack like it would on an asphalt track. You're actually picking the rubber back up. So it's very hard on a restart, especially on old tires, to get the car up to speed and put the power down. Now, I don't know exactly what happened with the 99 there. It looked like to me he might have misjudged with where he was on the track between the wall and the outside lane. And when he got into the gas, it might have went a little bit right on him to hit the fence. But like he was saying to the other guys in the chat in the race, I mean, once you hit the wall, and like I said earlier, and TJ alluded to, once you hit the wall here, it's hard to get off in these ARCA cars.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, there's already scrapes in the wall just in 3 and 4. And
I mean, you get the Darlington stripe at Darlington, you get the Dover stripe here. And sometimes that Dover stripe is pretty deadly compared to Darlington.
Yeah, the Dover stripe hurts. Miles, he's kind of mean. I mean, they call him Miles the Monster for a reason. He's not friendly.
Well, it looks like we got Rocky Faith and Jeremy Lapenas in the chat. What's going on, Rocky? How's Raw going, by the way? Jeremy, kind of upset that you're not in the field tonight as we're gridding up for a restart. I'm guessing you are at work. But it was a pleasure seeing you on the racetrack 2 weeks ago.
Travis sitting 6th for you. A little update.
Yeah, Travis is sitting 6th. Ooh, a Dylan Dunford with
Very
a quick blink
solid in
there.
the top 10 early. Yeah. Couple guys blinking here.
Yeah, I blinked out earlier. That's why y'all lost me there for a minute.
You
We
blinked
figured
out
so. We were
because
talking to you.
Your modem went fully poo-poo for a minute or two there. A pace car about to take that turn.
Marvelous left turn out of here.
This is such a hard pit road to get on. I'd be curious to see if we get green flag pit stops.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later on as we get further into this thing.
Well, here we go, getting ready for the restart. And there it is. Great
Mr.
launch
Thornton with
by
a hell of a
Thornton.
restart.
What a launch by the 35 there on that loud pedal already.
Looked like the 45, about 8, I think, might have got a piece of the wall.
Oh,
in the
looks like
restart,
he was
too.
still loose. I thought he was about to wreck right there.
Oh, you got a couple people in the wall there.
Oh, almost 3 wide here in the back.
That looked like Travis Lapenas in the wall. He's going to lose a bunch of spots in 3 and 4. Aspinall goes by. Here it comes Farron Elam.
You know, NASCAR booth always talks about somebody and then they get bad luck. I said something about him. I'll take that one.
We don't talk about that here.
Yeah. It's been known to happen.
The commentator curse? Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were riding on board with or right behind Lee Krause last week when he found the wall.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
Look at this battle up front. Dylan Dunford, Jake Ellingson. Jake Ellingson doing a really... Oh, he's going to spin.
The 95.
Smith.
And luckily, it didn't cause... Oh, the 72 lake piles into the 95.
That's big. That's high point man right there.
That is high point man.
Did he hook him? Oh, he hooked him.
It looked like a complete hook.
And I'll tell you another thing too. Just as a general thing, I mean, TJ can allude to this as a driver. I mean, it is really hard sometimes to judge where you're at on the racetrack compared to where the car actually is. And by what I mean by that is these hooks right here. Sometimes you think you're clear to go and get behind somebody, and you just misjudge it by the least little bit,
Oh,
and
that
you
looked
just
like
you
a
just hook the guy.
complete misjudge.
Yeah,
by Jake
complete
Ellingson.
misjudgment of where he was
Oh.
there. I can't even really say that either car got loose. Everybody was holding their line pretty good.
Alan Warnicki.
I mean, the 27 did move down, but man, that's tough.
And we're gonna watch it
Yeah, that
again.
was
Here it is with a
number 95. I do believe was the
Yeah.
5th point man.
I believe
yes,
he was.
yes, he was.
He's
gonna
not
get,
fifth no more.
He's gonna get
The
turned into
first
the
point
outside
man
wall.
clipped him as he was spinning
Yep.
after the fact.
Yeah,
So
Alan
that's
Warnicki in the
Yeah,
Liquid
yeah.
Death
Alan
72 machine.
late here takes a. I mean, the 95 takes a hard shot here late as the 72 just plows into his left front suspension.
not what either of those drivers want to see 10 laps into this race. I
No.
am
No,
very sure of
and
that.
what did I tell y'all in pre-race? If you want to avoid wrecks, you go to the high side. What did the 72 do right here?
Down to the bottom.
Down to the bottom. The wrong place to go.
Everything falls down.
But here's the thing, too. You, at places like Dover, Bristol, any short track, less than a mile and a half, you only get one shot at it to make sure that you make the right move. And unfortunately for Allen in the 72, didn't make the right call there.
The minute he started turning left to the apron, his bed was made.
Yep, absolutely. And it's not one of those things too where you get back into the gas and you can't just turn it back right. If you turn it back right and get back into the gas, you're going to the outside wall head first. So
yeah, you're going around, or it's not going to end well either way.
yeah, it's not going to end well either way. So he was kind of darned if you do, darned if you don't in that situation.
A lot of damage on that 95 of Devin Smith. This is huge playoff implications here. He's got no front end. You can see the radiator, and he's missing his left front tire.
Is making a stop here. Looks like another
Yeah,
kicker as well. The
That's
99.
about as hard of a hit, AJ, as you will ever take.
Sorry, 89, not 99.
At 89 is
I mean,
Bradley Stefan.
coming off the bottom there, going right into that outside wall, that's about as hard as of a hit you will ever take at Dover.
Oh yeah. Aren't you glad we aren't doing this in real life?
Well, yeah. I can imagine how much
It
money
hurt
was
digitally just
spent.
watching it.
But honestly, that looked like, I'm pretty sure the 27's going to get an EOL
He did.
on that. But that just looked like a misjudge completely, and it had huge implications with Devin Smith and a little tag of Alan Warnicki as well.
I just want to point out, AJ, that was your pick.
I'm aware.
That's one of those times you don't remind him.
Yeah, what the heck?
Oh no, I gotta let him know. I give him a lot about a lot of things.
Why you gotta be so rude?
It's in my nature.
Yeah, no kidding. But lights are off on that beautiful iRacing pace car.
Have we decided what that make of that car is? Is
It's
that
a
Kia?
It's a Dodge Dart.
Dodge Dart. That's a new one. I hadn't heard that one yet.
It looks like the newer Dodge Darts.
Okay. I've always heard Kia. I've heard Audi. I mean,
Now y'all
it's a
got
nice
me
looking
curious.
safety car, though. Right?
Yeah, I like when they actually use the truck or the Mustang, because then it's easy.
Yeah.
Let's call it a Dodge Neon, because I don't think that car or Dodge Neons really exist anymore.
Well, the Dart doesn't either. Sadly, they discontinued that.
Really?
Yeah,
So they
they're
only
They're
brought
gonna
it back for
discontinue
like a year or
Challengers
two?
and Chargers.
Yeah, they only brought it back for a couple of years.
They're getting ready to do away with the Charger and the Challenger.
Don't get me started on the
All
forces
right.
of where we're going in this country with muscle
Here
cars.
Anyone's hope of Dodge coming back to NASCAR, that's gone.
Here we go. Pace car on pit road.
And we're waiting for the restart zone.
Nice little race.
Again, Zach on the loud
field.
pedal. This is an outstanding start. Yeah, if
look
I'm
at
the
race
35,
count,
I'd start
my
changing
Lord.
my snap count a little bit with the restart zone here. If I'm the 35, maybe next restart, get these guys anticipating that I'm going to go early and then go late.
Getting
Either way,
very
I think it
spread
paid
out
off
now.
here. Wow.
Yeah, he got off to a heck of a launch right there. Everybody's trying to single file out here. I know the 29 and the 15 are kind of battling. Another battle here with the 5 car.
Oh, the 61 of
I imagine
Frank
some
Hughes.
of these guys got to be almost in shock after what we've seen early so far.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding.
Oh, the 27, or is that the 21? Can't tell. 21. He kind of sent it in there on the 5, letting him know, hey, bud, I'm here.
Yeah, Donnie Bartlett in the 21 is moving. But here comes Michael Steele fighting back on that outside. Those turn 2 and turn 4 walls pop up very fast.
And
Evidently-
you can fight back a little bit here, but it does eat up your tires a little bit on the initial run of the race here if you're on that outside.
Evidently, the 72 wasn't too injured by that contact, as he is right back up by that 21.
Well, and we've seen it here, TJ, with the new damage model. I mean, you could really take a beating with these cars and still be pretty okay afterwards.
True, but we've also seen the lightest bit of love taps, you lose a tire.
That is very true. That is very true.
As we're a little bit further back, we're looking for a great battle. Tyler Aspinall in 4th on the outside of Will Cloud. Ooh, the 48's a little loose. He's going to take it straight to the inside, trying to regroup.
I think the 3 might have got the wall.
Yeah, 3 got the wall on entry there. I thought he was about to spin that thing around.
I think he might have been watching the 48, and that was a reactionary move.
61.
61.
Yeah, 61 in the wall out of turn 4. Keeps it going, though.
That's that Dover stripe.
Right around Fair and Elam, another point guy. These points guys still remaining. Got to be like, this is wild, and I just need to survive.
That's what this race is all about. And sometimes, TJ, in the playoffs, that's all you got to do. Just survive and advance.
At the beginning of the race, if their number is blue, they were good. If it was yellow, they were under the cut line. And right now, we have 2 blues, Kyle Lingerfelt and Farron Elam, and 3 yellows, Dylan Dunford, Tyler Aspinall, and Brandon Richardson. So Alan Warnicki and Josh Fox, currently sitting in 13th and 17th respectively, probably need to get moving, or those gaps are really going to close up, and they're going to be in the yellow for Michigan in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and that is not the night Devin Smith wanted to start out with in that 95. He was one of our yellow numbers going into the night, and definitely not the start that he wanted to this round.
Battle up front between Lingerfelt and Dylan Dunford. Great run by
I've
the
been watching
94.
these guys for the last couple. It's been an interesting little battle amongst these 2 Toyotas.
Apparently, the drivers are reporting as well. The 94 has been blipping in and out.
Yeah, he's been blinking quite a bit on my end here the last few laps.
Oh, he's going to try to take that inside.
Oh, that is almost a case for disaster. Look at how tight those 2 cars got at the exit of the corner there.
They did, and that brought Tyler Aspinall right into the mix and brought Will Cloud right into it as well, as Aspinall...
Oh, 45. Aspinall hits the wall off the exit.
How easy is it to overdrive these turns?
Very.
Pretty easy. But I will tell you here, I mean, it could be pretty forgiving if you overdrive the corners here. And that's on entry, but on exit, not so forgiving.
Yeah, there's a wall that stops you on exit.
Yes, very, very much so.
And you wouldn't believe the rate at which you feel like, oh yeah, I've got some wall out there, and then all of a sudden it's like, there's no more wall out there, I'm in it. It goes quick.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and even if you get on the gas a little too soon, 1 of 2 things happen. You know this, TJ, as a driver. You either hit the wall, or you're going to go spinning on the exit of these corners, because it is such a jump. You climb up the hill, going back onto the straightaway, and you fall down a cliff going into the
Brandon
corners.
Richardson pushing the 61 into the wall before getting into turn 3 there.
Yeah, we don't...
wall at the
48
front.
cents. Oh, boy.
Almost got Tyler Aspinall.
Oh, my. We've got a lot of chaos here, TJ. That's for sure.
This place, I kind of figured it was going to be.
Yeah, they
Especially
Miles
with the
does not
playoffs and everything
disappoint.
on the line. These guys are wanting to get all they can. And early here, I mean, on restarts, you know this, TJ. Oh, as a 3 smacks the wall there. I mean, you got to get all you can get on these restarts.
61 still ricocheting off the wall back in the field, slowing up the line he's in front
is
of
going
now.
straight to the back.
Yeah, he is. He needs to take a minute and gather
3
himself.
and
That
29
happens.
get together. No
3 and
spin, but they
29.
make contact. I keep bouncing between these guys. They're all hitting the wall.
And the funny thing is, these guys keep bouncing off each other. You'd think they'd wreck, but no, they just keep it. They just keep going straight.
Jake
And I'd
Ellington
like
These
to-
trying
guys
to take
driving
another
ability tonight
spot.
for sure.
I'd like to just point out as well, coming from the rear, Mr. Ellingson is already back in like 10th.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
he's
he
already
is.
back up here in the top 10. And you look at Will Cloud, started 18th, already up to the 9th spot, and he's battling for that position with Jacob, and I think he's going to let Jacob have it here.
Yeah, he was up around 4th.
Oh,
before he took the
72.
wall.
Trouble on the racetrack. 72 in the 15.
Are we still
Oh
green?
my.
There,
I think we're still green.
There's
There's
the
a caution.
That's a
playoff
huge
driver.
point, man. Alan Warnicky.
Yeah, that's the second incident he's been in tonight.
He just come over his radio and he's asking what the 15 was doing. A little bit more explanative
Oh,
rating.
that was some net code there, guys.
Well, we're seeing it on screen right now.
Yeah, it looked like there was a little bit of net code, but the 15 did come down a little bit.
Yeah, there's definitely a little net code there. There was maybe like a foot and a half, and it just turned the 72 right into the outside wall. It
Yeah,
doesn't
they
look like,
stay hung on each other there for a little bit after that.
it doesn't look like there is a ton of damage on that 72, which is good, but very scary for your points leader coming into this event tonight.
Already involved in one incident. The second one, he's somehow going to drive away from it again. Very
Yeah,
lucky.
we'll have to see how much damage he has. For sure. I don't know if these guys are going to pit yet, though.
Oh,
they
they-
might.
They are.
Oh, it's a very busy place.
Oh,
Here
and
we
the
go.
15 just got into the back of the 72 going into the pit.
Oh, jeez.
I think they're a little bit upset.
So for the
I think it was.
TJ, go ahead.
No, I'm listening now. 72's not happy. Let's just say that.
Hey, these drivers are not happy with each other.
Well, for the first time
But
tonight,
that's short track racing, man.
we're going to take you to commercial from Dover International Speedway. You're listening and watching to All-Star 15 TV. We will be right back.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
75 is blaming it on the 72.
All right, everybody, we are back since Gary missed his cue completely. We're 30 laps into 120.
Sorry, guys.
A lot has happened so far. TJ, anything surprising for you?
Ellingson coming from the rear all the way back to 9th already. That was kind of a shock. In roughly about 20 laps. That's pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Thornton's led the way for the most part. That's no surprise.
Yeah, he's led every lap so far. Jake Ellingson, as you said, is up to the 9th position. But huge issue with Alan Warnicky and the 15 of Austin Green. We've had multiple playoff drivers have issues tonight.
And there are drivers laying blame at everybody's feet on that last one.
Well, if they watch the broadcast, it 100% looks like netcode. It looked like the 15 came down a little bit, but not enough to touch the driver because there was daylight in between both drivers.
Well, and there were some people saying the 72 come up the racetrack, but I mean, to me, and TJ, you'll attest to this as a driver yourself. I mean, coming off a 4, coming off a 2, with the way that you get back into the gas and the way your momentum is, I mean, you have no choice but to, you come up naturally as you come out of these corners here.
Yeah, and if you're a driver on the outside, you need to know you're gonna have to kind of try to give room for that almost.
Yeah, and it's hard to do here at
you
this track.
and the other driver.
Yeah, and it's hard to do at this racetrack, that is for sure.
Well, we're getting the one to go. Everybody just came in pit. They have fresh tires. How loose are these guys going to be on these fresh tires? With a concrete track, we've talked about it. They need to build some heat before they really grip down. So what to expect on the first restart with cold tires?
If I'm these drivers here, and TJ, you know this as a driver, I mean, I'm kind of scrubbing my tires a little bit just to make sure they're clean, get some of this excess rubber off, get a little bit of heat in those tires, and then I'm just being a little bit cautious here getting on the gas because these tires are still a little bit cold as it gets going.
I feel like Gary's nonchalant throwing shade at me because I don't drive as much.
Well, I mean, someone once described it to me that you almost need to pretend there's an egg under the accelerator and not to mash it.
We are back green. Looks like Thornton said, about that count you were talking about, Gary. He went and is gone once again. But Kyle Lingerfeld... Not
as good as a restart we've seen.
Kyle Lingerfeld actually within striking distance.
Yeah, most of these guys are getting single file, except for here in the back, almost 3 wide. They are 3 wide, TJ.
3 wide, and that's contact.
They're gone. See you later.
Hospital, that's appointment. Oh, here comes some more again.
Oh, there are more wrecks here. Oh, here comes 45.
Going?
And TJ, I was just getting ready to say 3 wide does not work here at Dover, and you know what happened right before I said it? They didn't make it. They didn't even give me a chance to say it.
So,
no, they didn't wait on you.
So many cars. A
lot of cars here.
So everybody...
and what I tell you about the self-cleaning, we just saw it right there.
So right here, you have the 16 of Lapanis on the extreme outside, Tyler Aspinall on the 45, and Jake Ellingson on the inside. Doesn't look like there's a lot of room for that 27, but, well, we'll take a look at it right here.
I don't think the 45 was expecting that, though, AJ.
Ooh,
no,
Ellingson.
And I mean, that might even have been a little aggressive early here. You might have waited a couple laps to even try that.
Ellingson,
yeah, because the 16 knew that they were going to be 2 wide, but I don't think the 45 was expecting it to be 3 wide.
Well,
not at this stage of the race.
It looks like the 27 comes up the racetrack, clips the 45, they start spinning.
Yeah, I think the 27 might have even clipped the apron a little bit, maybe.
And
it's
then
close.
You have Will Cloud in the 48. Is that 39 of John Bartlett, and the 17 of Jackson or Dean Qualley, all spinning in reaction to it.
Drivers are.
I love the shade.
A bit of fun. Oh yeah.
Well, and I tell you what happened behind these guys though, it was just a chain reaction because we saw the 48 get involved in this. Looked like the 17 was checking up for the wreck. The 2 didn't see them crashing, and the 2 just dumps the 17, and that's how everybody piles in behind these guys that are already on the apron and just stopped.
It looks like the 48 might have even retired from the event.
I believe he might have, because I'm looking at the 45 here, and TJ, I don't know if you saw this or not, but he tried to go and retaliate to that 27 car after the incident.
I did, and that's not something as a point driver you want to be doing.
No, that's definitely not something as a point driver you want to be doing. And this is why I say this every time I'm on a broadcast, TJ. I'm glad I'm not an admin.
No. He looks like he got it repaired for the most part. He might have a little bit more to do, but just kind of a bonehead move there. I hope he don't get in trouble for it.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Looks like the 27's gone ahead and parked it now.
It
looks like
wow.
the 48 has parked it as well.
We just went
Will
back
Cloud
and,
is out of here.
saw that.
Chad Waller's out of here.
It looked like Aspinall, as he's driving towards the 27 just jumps to pit road, and he just cleans the 48's clock.
Yeah, he sure does. Watch it here. Bam! I may or may not be watching your stream, so it's a little delayed.
I can actually.
I usually have it up.
Gary, I will help you guys out on that because I completely forgot to do this, so you guys can see what I'm looking at. For all the people wondering at home what I'm talking about, I usually put up my OBS screen so they could see what I'm looking at.
Here we go.
Well, that's awful nice of you.
Thank you.
But
It's Monday. We AJ Grace.
Absolute craziness so far. Right now, your leader still Zachary Thornton, second Kyle Lingerfeld and Dylan Dunford, positions unchanged since the start of this race. But you guys have missed a lot if you're just joining the stream now. What? Hi, Marcy. How you doing? Long time no see. Michael is a survivor right now, sitting in seventh place. Gary, you were going to say something?
Well, I was just getting ready to tell y'all. If we have green flag pit stops, we haven't even talked about pit road yet.
Pit road is an absolute B word to get onto under green flag.
Absolutely. And if we get a green flag run here and have some green flag pit stops, that is going to be super tricky.
Since you did mention Michael, AJ, just want to congratulate him. He won the Thursday night Summer Super Speedway Series for EFRL.
Nice. And I think you finished in the 5th position, TJ.
I did manage to salvage a 5th after a disastrous Atlanta race.
Oh, God. Yes. Yes, I went back and
100
watched
laps
the replay.
of racing, 51 under yellow.
Ouch. Well,
they're getting ready to go here, boys.
It was painful.
Another great launch by Thornton. It's like nobody can really pinpoint when he's going to go, even though he launches at the exact same spot every time.
Well, I did notice this just by watching your screen, AJ. It seems that the 35, what he's able to do as the leader, because he's kind of pinning the second place guy up a little bit higher than probably what he wants. The 35 is actually able to turn down the racetrack a little bit, which is in turn giving him a little bit better of a launch because he's able to use a little bit more of the racetrack than what the second place guy is able to.
I want to say Lingerfeld is kind of getting a little better idea of it because he does get a little closer. Seems like every time he doesn't let him get away as far.
Hard in the wall. He's going to drop a couple spots to 14.
Oh, Stefan.
He was in the wall a lot Thursday. I don't want to get into specifics.
Oh, the 89's in the wall again.
That one might have
clobbered that wall, TJ. Oh, and he's still going. He's still wrecking.
How hard is it?
He's got to find a way down.
How hard is it to get it off that wall and continue going strong? Because it looks like it just messed up his car.
Yeah, and he's got some wheel damage here, it looks like.
It's hard to get off that wall and not get down into people, too.
Yeah, especially here at this racetrack. At other tracks, it's not so bad, but here, it's just something about it. You get in this wall, and it is hard to.
Well, we're going to see it right here, coming off of turn 2 in the wall, still in the wall. And it looks like he might have fixed it. But then coming off of turn 4 once again. Oh!
And this is where he's here. He knows he just has to ride as best he can. And he just smacks it in the wall again just to make sure that he doesn't involve anybody else in his mess.
Yeah, good job on him to not collect anybody else. But your leader right now, Zachary Thornton, extending that lead to just over a second and a half. You're watching All-Star 15 TV's broadcast of the Extreme Forces Racing League. I'm AJ Capola. I got TJ Barnier and Gary Wells up in the broadcast booth. It has been one entertaining event so far tonight. But so far, under green, completely dominated by Zachary Thornton, guys.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's really had anything for him yet that we've seen. The one car I thought might have never made it back up through the field, Jake Ellingson, I was curious to see if he got there, what he could do, but he never got there and got caught up in other issues.
Yeah, a lot of heavy hitters so far, especially in the playoffs, have been involved in incidents here. And some guys on the cut line, some guys not on the cut line, but they will be on the cut line after this race. So, going to be interesting to see how the rest of this race plays out. And if anybody's going to have anything for that 35, it's really hard telling.
Yeah, who says it's Steve Letarte or Rick Allen with the huge playoff implications?
I think it's Rick Allen usually.
I think it's Rick Allen.
Playoff implications.
But that's all we've had so far tonight, and we're not even 50 laps in yet.
Yeah, we're not even halfway through this thing yet, and these guys are I think they're finally starting to get it. Knock on wood, somebody. I think they're finally starting to get it.
I think TJ and myself both knocked on wood there.
I think I did as well. I think we all got it covered.
My head does count for wood, right?
Look back here. Travis Payne is looking to make a move on Matthew Setzer. You know, that's 16.
Thank you, AJ.
That's 16 in the super late model division that I broadcasted last year. Very fast, almost a guarantee as a podium finisher every week during that season. But now with the ARCA series, it looks like it's a little more of a tougher beast for him to tame. He still runs within the top 10, but we don't see him contending for a win every week like he used to. So how much of a different animal are those ARCA cars to those super late models, even though they look somewhat similar?
Oh, they're completely different, AJ. I mean, with these ARC cars, they're a lot heavier. They got more horsepower to them. But with those super late models, I mean, they are light, and yes, they're fast, but it's a whole different animal too. I mean, you think about it, a super late model, you might not get on a track bigger than a mile. And here with these ARCA cars, you can go just about anywhere. You can go Daytona, you can go short track, you can go intermediate, you can go super speedway. There's a lot more things that you could do with an ARCA car as opposed to a super late model. And the racing's just different as well, even the etiquette.
Yeah, well, we're seeing Matthew Setzer go backwards as he was passed by Lapinus, then Richardson,
And Steele.
and now Steele.
And Steele's going to have that at the line. And the 19's here to play some games too, Josh Fox.
Josh Fox, another playoff driver here. I love how they implemented the system of the NASCAR style playoffs, but the win and move on doesn't exist here.
Yeah, it's very interesting how they do that here, and it's everybody's got their own taste of it as far as the playoffs and how they should be run. So it's good to see different varieties on iRacing. And some leagues don't even have a playoffs. They just say, hey, whoever scores the most points at the end of the season wins.
Yep.
Tyler Aspinall's back down pit road. I don't know if he's got to get more damage repaired. He's going to probably lose multiple laps here and not going to.
Yeah, and you automatically just lose a lap coming down here on pit road, just because the pit speed limit is 35 miles an hour here. So even before you get to your pit stall, sometimes you already lose a lap. So it's a very tricky place.
Well, watching the battle for second right now, Lingerfeld in the 65, Dunford in the 94, and then Farron Elam right there in the 24. This is a big battle because
all
Zachary
these
Thornton
Toyotas here
is still pulling away.
And that battle for
it's still
second,
pulling
that's
away,
all points drivers. Lingerfeld, Dunford, and Farron Elam.
Yep, all these guys battling for points, and I believe the 35 is also in a points battle, is he not?
No.
He was actually eliminated last week.
Oh, okay, never mind. He's playing spoiler.
Yes, he is.
Speaking of a battle, here comes the 65 and the 94. Well, he tried. Here comes the 24. He's going to try to get a piece of the 65 now.
Yeah, it looked like Dylan Dunford had to back out of it so he didn't hit the 65
And
with
he
Lingerfeld.
just went to the Shadow Realm and came back.
And he's gone. He's back.
He's got
Where
to
is
stop
he?
playing with Yugi and Joey Wheeler. He needs to stay out of that Shadow Realm. Oh, 90.
He's alive. He's dead.
94
And
is
that was
still
the
very,
16.
very tight. He's going to lose multiple positions, dropping all the way back to 6th, now letting by Richardson and Lapenas.
Ooh, they were 3 wide there for a second.
Yes, they were.
And they made it work, though, this time.
Alan Warnicki having a great recovery right now. He's 9th. He's already been in 2 incidents this evening.
And this is what I mean, too, by the survive and advance. Sometimes you just have to have a night where you have a little bit of adversity, and the next thing you know, you look up and you're in the top 10, and you just maximize all the points that you can get. That's what racing's all about right there.
If you'd have told me after he hit the 95 that he'd be back up here battling for 9th, I'd have said you're crazy. and then again after getting turned himself, like,
Yeah.
that car shouldn't be there, and it is, and that's a testament to a very good driver.
Yep, very testament to a very good driver, and just having, and I know this is just a video game, folks. I know a lot of people just say it is.
No, Gary,
but
it's a simulation.
It's a simulator. It's a simulation. I'm sorry. This isn't real world, right? But I think you could still take some things that are in the real world to the virtual world, like having the mental toughness and the tenacity to keep going, and just having the attitude of not giving up. And the 72 so far tonight has displayed that.
Yeah,
And he's about to battle for the 8th spot here.
Yeah, it looks like Michael Steele and Alan Warnicki are about to have a very quick battle as they pass the start-finish line.
And
Here
the
comes
3
the
car is
3.
going to take advantage of that here as well. Matthew Sitzer, now he's battling with the 5 car.
Threw it in there on the bottom. No contact. That's good. Nobody hit the wall. Still door to door, though. Well, they
And
were.
it looks like the 5 is going to prevail here for now.
Yeah, but Matthew Setzer in that 3 looks like he has a lot of speed on this extended run here.
I think he was saving his tires. We talked about that earlier. If you could survive the first 10 to 15 laps and just save your stuff, I think that's why he was falling back. He just wanted to take a minute, save his stuff, get into a rhythm. Because here at Dover, it is a very rhythmic racetrack here.
TJ, Gary, you guys are cracking up the chat room right now. Marcy goes, OMG, I can't believe you said video game.
I tried to save him, Marcy. I tried to save him.
Oh, Michael Steele
Hey.
in the wall.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. Scraped the wall there just a tad. 3 car going to be able to get by him, but the 5 is trying the crossover. Can't say slide job yet. Can't say it yet, TJ.
No, I was ready.
Up here, Brandon Richardson to the back bumper of Farron Elam. This is for 3rd place.
You do a slide job at Dover, you usually end up in the fence, so it don't really work out for you.
Well, the 3 pulled a slide job to get around the 5, but we missed it. It's okay.
We're currently watching this this battle for 3rd right now, as it looks like Lingerfelt has pulled away from this pack here, and Thornton is just in a 2-second ahead zip code.
Yeah, Thornton's in a 2-second ahead zip code, and look at the 24. He's got a hornet's nest right behind him, especially starting with that 29. Another Toyota.
Also a point man.
Also a point man.
It might not seem like much, but right now, I mean, I would assume Kyle Lingerfelt's probably going to assume the point lead if it were to end right now, seeing as he was 2 back of Warnicki, 1 back of Fox.
And kind of analyzing this battle, it seems like the 29 can get a better run on the exit. He's able to get through the center exit really well, where the 24, he has that launch going into entry into center, but the 29 just can't. The straightaways aren't long enough. He can't quite get to the 24. 24 makes a mistake right here. Here comes the 29 on the outside now.
And what was a single train here might become double file.
Ooh. 29 kept his foot in it. Here he comes now to the bottom here of the
94
24.
making a move below the penis as well.
And you can't say slide job there. That's not a slide job.
No, but crossover.
But here's a crossover. And that's the fun part about Dover here. And TJ can allude to this a little bit, and maybe even you, AJ. That once you get to battle it here at Dover and you do a couple crossovers, a couple slide jobs, it could be a pretty fun racetrack, but also it could be very infuriating.
Yeah, because just when you think you got yourself, all right, I got by that guy. Wait a minute, what's he doing back below me?
Every time. And as there's trying to negotiate the lap traffic here with the 2 car, they're going to be 3 wide for a moment. 94 going to try to take advantage of the 24 there. Going to the bottom of the racetrack.
Can he get by him?
Can't quite get him clear. And that's the thing is that as the 24 right here, you have to pinch him down a little bit, at least on exit, but the 24 is just going to let he's going to let a lot of guys go by here.
Josh Fox getting back.
But I was getting ready to say, you got to pinch him down a little bit, TJ, on the corner exit.
Fox looking to maybe grab that point lead for himself. Another spot or two, and he would force a tie between himself and Lingerfeld, I would think.
I believe so.
You got your what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys right in the line. Points drivers.
Yeah. All these guys right in the line.
Warnicki ain't far behind either. I mean, he's right back in 8th. So.
Yep.
He's watching these guys battle. Saying,
"Oh, here comes the 89. He's just gonna blow right by the 24."
Kind of a power move.
Well, the 89
probably because he's got those fresher tires.
Yeah, he last pit Stefan on lap 41. I'm looking at.
Yeah, that was I think when he went and got the damage repaired from smacking the wall one too many times.
Yeah, I believe so. I think you're right about that one.
And he's only on lap 45, a good chunk of laps down, as the leaders just took 73.
Yeah, about 26.
Oh, but looky here.
Warnicki to the back
Guys,
bumper of Fair and Elam.
I think we might have a battle brewing. I'll keep an eye on it, but Kyle here has broken the 2-second barrier. He's about 1.7 back here of
Warnicki with an issue?
Warnicki with a big issue.
Uh-oh.
Way off the pace.
Did he hit the fence?
No, he was down on the bottom.
He got on the apron. Maybe he was trying to pit and realized he couldn't get it done. I'm not quite sure what happened with the 72 there.
Here he comes to pit road.
I mean, did he just get loose, or maybe he just knew he couldn't get this down to speed?
I think he just misjudged it, but Lingerfeld under a second and a half now, really closing in on Thornton.
Yeah, that 65 has been able to save his tires a little bit, and those tires are starting to pay off.
I mean, when we went back green, I was thinking around now would be the potential for pit stops, so we might be seeing our first green flag pit stop.
It's okay, Fry. They're doing a great job. I will cue in when I need to.
35 said he's pitting this time. 35, our leader.
That answers that question.
Oh, and here we go. Watch the 35 get on the pit road right here. He had to check up, and you have to be at 35 by that yellow cone. He was at like 27 right there. He just wanted to make sure that he was good. But you come off of turn 3, and I mean, you had to basically brake in the middle of 3 and 4. As the 21 also announced that he is coming down pit road. But it is such a difficult task getting on the pit road here.
Yeah, I'm on
the
whole
slew of drivers are going to be coming.
29's coming. 94's coming.
If the leader comes down pit road,
16's coming.
You need to come down, or you're giving up a lot of time. Kyle
you
Lingerfeld
are giving up a lot of time. That's exactly right. I was just getting ready to say that.
Kyle Lingerfeld with a 25.67.
Are there any bonus points for leading a lap? I guarantee you that's why the 65 has stayed out here a little bit. Probably just trying to get some bonus points.
Well,
and he is on the brakes, and he's getting ready to come down pit road.
Now Josh Fox staying out.
17
is also pitting.
That's Jackson or Dean Qualley, one of the two.
I think it's Jackson. I don't think it's Dean.
Dean seems like a super speedway guy to me. I could be wrong. Jackson bringing it down pit road, all nice.
But here's Zachary Thornton. Yeah, he's a lap down, but he is up to speed.
Yeah, he is up to speed, and he's going to be passing a lot of these cars right here.
Oh, loose off of 2.
Yep, that's very commonplace here, especially on those new tires. And it seems like they're for maybe a half second. All 4 tires as you enter the corner and exit the corner, they kind of, they leave the ground a little bit here. That's not uncommonplace here at Dover. believe I'm hearing the 61 is looking to make a pit stop here, or try to anyway.
Well, just right now, Thornton and the gap to Lingerfelt is just about 7.5 seconds.
24 is on pit road. The 3 is on pit road.
That was a second gap before pit stop started. Now that is opened up to almost 8 seconds because Lingerfelt stayed out.
Yeah, and honestly, it comes down to how you attack pit road too, right? Even though it's very hard to attack here at Dover, it's a very fine line. Either you're really good at attacking pit entry here, or you suck at it. Like, there's no in between. Am I allowed to say that on TV? I just said it anyway.
Yeah, you're fine.
But it's just one of those things, and especially how you exit the pits too. Getting up to speed on this asphalt apron here is very tricky here to do at Dover.
Well, Zach Thornton.
Here he comes to take the lead. There it is as he sails it off into turn 1. With a 9-second gap over Kyle Lingerfelt.
And I just have to think that has to be from his pit exit. And, of course, a little bit of time on track. I know the 65 gave up a little bit there on track by staying out a couple extra laps. But I think some of that, too, is the pit entry and the pit exit.
While Zachary Thornton is doing 23 7s. Kyle
Lingerfelt's come back later to be good.
If it shows you anything as well, I mean, we know the trouble Alan Warnicki had getting to pit road, but even getting to pit road when he did, here he is sitting third.
Yeah,
because he came early.
And because
he came early. Because you could make up a lot of time on track here. But I think it could pay off for the 65 later on in the run because he did stay out a little bit longer. And if it does come down to fuel mileage, he might have a shot to where he might not have to pit again. It could come down to that too.
Well, they took a pit stop on lap 35, but most of them, I think, stayed out and came down on lap 21, and they just pit on 76 and 78, respectively, right around there. So they might actually be good with about 40 laps to go.
It is super close.
To imagine, right, I know Zach Thornton and the way he races. I know he's looking at that right now. He's going to be hyper aware of it.
Oh yeah, he's got to be hyper aware of it. You might even have to save a half a lap. But here at Dover, it's pretty easy to save fuel here.
Yeah, especially with a 10-second lead.
Yeah.
Marcy, I'm doing very well. The family's doing well. My broadcasting family is doing even better. It has grown today, bringing Gary Wells along now. He's going to be my partner on Wednesday nights. But
this is my tryout. Don't let him fool you.
I've broadcasted with you before. Oh, stop.
Tryout? I thought me and you were taking over Monday. We were just going to get rid of AJ.
Well, if anything, I'd play the press the buttons guy. You guys are doing great. I'm enjoying, not doing anything.
You get to save your voice while I've been talking for 8 hours a day before this.
True, Mr. Insurance Salesman.
I work at a call center, folks. Don't let it fool you.
Thank you for calling Microsoft Tech Support.
How can I make you mad today?
Josh Fox, Dylan Dunford, Battle for Sixth.
Jesus.
Are you connected to VP? I'm sorry. Anyway.
Did you try restarting it?
Josh Fox with a great launch out of turn 4, now sailing it off into turn 1, trying to catch the 94. This is all for 6th place, but something we haven't done yet. We are going to take you to a crank it up, everybody. We'll see you back in just probably about 5 or 6 laps.
This is where we get the FCC warning. Welcome back, everybody. We got 24 to go. Mr. Zachary Thornton, I don't want to say it, but I picked him. Still out front by about 11 seconds. Mr. Lingerfelt is second. Brandon Richardson third. Lapinus in fourth, and Warnicki in fifth. We think they're good to make it on fuel. Everybody else under that consensus?
Yeah, I think they're good to make it.
They just may not be able to make it back to the pits.
I mean, you only got to get to that checkered flag. I mean, I know these guys like to get a picture, but hey, I won the race. I might be out. Push me. You want your picture.
Chase Elliott, Jimmy Johnson at Watkins Glen like 5 years ago.
That's right. It worked for Chase.
But thank you to everybody for tuning in tonight. If you haven't hit that like button, subscribe to All-Star 15 TV. We will be back next season with the Extreme Forces Racing League and their ARCA division. But before that, we have 2 more races. September 12th, we go to Michigan for the cutoff race before the finale, and the finale is going to be held in beautiful, I think it's Charlotte?
I think you're right.
I do believe you are correct.
Which is going to be glorious.
I love that facility.
So do I, and yes, it will be Charlotte Motor Speedway for the championship event, but we have a lot of
to the top 5.
We have a lot of changes due to points and people unfortunately getting either wrecked out or dealing with their own adversity. If you see drivers with blue numbers before the race, they were in the good. If they were yellow, it means they were in the bad. So right now, you got Lingerfelt sitting in second. Good. Richardson, yellow, in third. Even better. But, guys...
Yeah, you might want to add red next week, because I think we got a few guys that are going to be starting that race from the red.
That would be the plan.
Oh, yeah.
But...
Well, and I was looking here as we were under cranking up. The 19 have been working on the 72 the last few laps. The 19 was able to clear the 72, and he is pulled away.
So with
100
laps,
tires.
Sorry, TJ, with 100 laps already taken care of, we've actually gone green for quite a while now. We saw green flag pit stops just about 20 laps ago. What are your thoughts so far once we've actually been able to see some racing?
It's been pretty good. Typical Dover race once it gets really strung out. The 19, I don't know what he's been doing here, but so far, the tail end of this run, he's been really saving his stuff, and he has now passed the 16, and he is pulled away. So, I mean, typical stuff like we were talking to pre-race, TJ. Saving your tires, saving your stuff for a long run, and you'll be one of the fastest guys on this racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, it was survive early, which we all kind of figured. They got everything figured out, and there's a slow car here right behind the 19
car off the pace, yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of causing havoc here for some of these up front guys.
Yeah, he's trying to get out of the way, and you know this too, TJ. Dover, there's not a whole lot of places to get out of the way.
No, there's not a lot. You can't run and hide. Miles, he is like the perfect mascot for this place because he can get a bite of you. He won't let go. You can't hide from him. He is a monster, and Dover is one heck of a monster mile.
Dylan Dunford with an excellent run out of turn 2, trying to make the pass on Alan Warnicki for that 6th position.
I mean, This is big. This battle right here is huge, because I would think by the end of the night, this is a battle for the cutoff spot.
Absolutely, as the 72 almost gets up under the wall right there. These guys still battling side by side pretty hard. We might see a battle for second here in a little bit if the 29 could just clear this 9 car right here. Because he was reeling down the 65, and then he couldn't get through the lap traffic just like the 65 did. But now he's able to clear the 9 car, and he will be setting his sights on Kyle Lingerfelt here.
So last 5-lap average for Thornton, he's sitting at a 25.4. Last 5-lap average for Kyle Lingerfelt, he's sitting at a 25.3.
That's a couple tenths a lap. I don't know if that's going to do anything, with 10 to go, but we've seen worse here. And by the way, that is 2 seconds off of Zach's pole time, his last 5-lap average.
Yeah, because
Zach could be saving his stuff here for this longer run. He has almost given back a second now. Maybe to what was I think he was out to
It's
11
about 3 seconds actually. It was almost a
Yeah.
12-second lead earlier.
towards the crank it up there. So he's given some time back here, but that might be just a little strategy for the long run.
And I think he knows at this point, like, there's 10 to go. He's going to have to really haul the mail and make up a second a lap if he's going to catch him at this point.
And to do so would absolutely annihilate his tires. So let him go ahead and save yours.
Come on, just make it interesting.
Well, I mean, if I was
If he
in
was
the
Lightning
race, I
McQueen,
could
he
make
would
it-
have taken no tires.
That's right. If I was in the race, I could make it interesting. You know, my arm is prone to itching.
Oh God, Clint
Oh,
Boyer.
God.
That goes
Yeah,
back
I
to
told you on the Clint Boyer of this broadcast. I don't know what you're talking about. My arm was itching.
Well, the 19's able to clear the 15 here. Any other battles going on in this racetrack?
not
Fair
really.
Elam has fallen back. He is in danger of being
He's in danger of
outside
being
the front
lapped, that's for
four.
sure.
and being outside that front four in points.
Yeah, and he was what? Fifth before
Second?
pit stops, third, somewhere around in there.
Somewhere right
Yeah.
around there. But we are under 10 to go here at Dover International Speedway, or Dover Motor Speedway, depending on what year it is. But stay tuned after the race tonight. We will have the podium interviews from your top 3 finishers tonight, brought to you by Wrestling Over Everything.
Remember, AJ, that's not wrestling over anything. Wrestling over everything.
So that lead from Thornton to Lingerfeld is just about 7.5 seconds now. So Lingerfeld
Oh,
is...
AJ, there ain't nothing gonna happen here. He's caught up by a lap car anyway, and a lap car lets him go. That's a shame.
I know there's a very good chance that it gets down to about 5 seconds, and that's it.
Nothing's gonna happen unless we have a caution. Speaking of which, TJ, can you hop in the car and itch your arm?
Yeah, I mean, I just thought I'd jump in this pace car right here and
It's not Talladega. Don't steal the pace car. But look at this.
Oh,
Lepanus.
I don't think they've got time to form a wall of trucks to stop me.
This battle right here for the 4th position. Lepanus is catching Fox.
Yep, Lepanus is catching Fox a little bit. He did pass Fox did pass him a few laps ago, was able to pull away, but 16 able to reel him back in a little bit.
Yeah, it's looking like the 29 might be get himself secure in this podium position, which means he would be the final man to get to talk to us this evening.
That's right.
I thought Fox was maybe going to go up there and try to get himself an interview, but he's now under fire.
Now under fire a little bit, and maybe lost a little bit of his tire trying to pass everybody here.
But now he's having to deal with a couple laps down Bradley Stefane.
Yeah, he's having to deal with Stefane a little bit, and he's also having to deal with the 16, but 16 couldn't quite get around the 89, so I think he's pretty much clear now, and he can start to set his sights on the 29, but I don't know if they have enough time. Wouldn't a caution just change everything?
Absolutely.
Oh. Because I would think you'd want to pit. Like, you'd have to pit, right?
As a broadcaster, I love chaos, and yes, you would definitely have to pit. Absolutely.
I mean, you get half these front guys stay out, maybe not, but...
And there's only 9 cars on the lead lap, so if I'm definitely 5th, 6th on back, there's a yellow, I'm coming in and getting tires.
Well, we're coming to 2 to go.
It wouldn't have to be now. I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh, the 61 almost up the 35. Did you see that?
Oh, boy.
Did you see that?
That would be catastrophic.
That would be chaos. Something that I love.
It'd be 2
dearly.
weeks in a row the leader...
Right. Oh, man, what were we fixing to say that?
Coming to the line.
White
it
flag
is
this time.
Your
I'm surprised
Wrestling
the
Over
35
Everything
just
white
doesn't let him
flag.
go at this point.
White flag here for Zach Thornton.
Here it is down the
Sure.
backstretch one final time.
That's what he wanted to see.
Going into
He
3 and
knows now
4, all he
unless
needs to see is that checker flag now.
Not the 65 up his tailpipe either.
Or the 61.
And out of turn number 4, Zachary Thornton wins the Monster Mayhem 120 from Dover International Speedway.
And
That was
what mayhem it was.
That was a crazy race. Started with, 3-4 cautions off the bat, and then we had
Big cautions. Big implication caution.
We had a long green flag run there.
And shout out to that Alan Warnick guy there, finishing 8th here tonight after some couple of things of adversity early on in this thing.
I wanna give a shout out to Jeremy Lepanis, the brother of Travis. He goes, ever since AJ said Trav struggles in these cars, he's been going forward. Well, I'm happy I can motivate people.
An anti-kryptonite.
Haters are my motivators.
I wasn't hating. He's very good in the super late models, as there is Thornton burning it down like one of my favorite songs.
Burn, baby, burn.
By a dude that in the end, not going to finish that.
Uh-huh.
But
we're listening.
Here comes the 65 to join the 35. Second place runner and the 29.
We are going to take a quick break. But when we return, we will have the podium interviews from our top 3 drivers, and we'll hear it straight from them how this race went. Some very probably interesting words. But we'll be right back.
From Mortar to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to All-Star 15 TV. Well, TJ, since you enjoy interviewing Zachary Thornton, we'll let you do it once again. Here he is, winner of today's race, Zachary Thornton.
Yeah, I'll interview. Zach, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
I'll just have you know, I want everybody on the broadcast to know that I picked you to win tonight. Remember that, AJ?
Yeah, I'm aware.
Hell of a run, man. Hell of a run. I think you got that thing pole to pole.
Yeah, I was
outside of pit stops.
Outside of pit stops, correct? Yeah.
I was a little scared on that second last lap or whatever it was when
we saw it. We saw it. The 61 there.
That was scary, and apparently I was told I was pinching. At least that's what he said, but I don't think that was very much of a pinch. But that's okay.
It wasn't much of a pinch. We're pulling for chaos. It's fine.
Yeah.
we didn't want to see you fall victim to the second driver in 2 races to get wrecked leading. So we were happy to see you move along without any incident.
Yeah, that was scary.
I know you got eliminated last week, but this has got to feel like redemption.
Redemption, payback, whatever you want to call it.
Any hopes for the rest of the season? We got 2 to go. You gonna go win them both?
Yeah, I just won them both and proved that I should have been allowed in playoffs. But that's the plan.
Well, get it done. Get those wins. Anybody you want to plug?
Gotta plug my teammate Will Cloud. Even though he finished 87 laps down, he put a good effort. Unfortunately, he just caught in the back. Just a couple of stupid wrecks early, I think, is what happened. I mean, there's a lot of wrecks early. There's a lot of cautions, but I'm glad we figured it out for then. People stopped wrecking. That's good. Also, shout out Brady, the team owner, even though he wasn't here this week. Still gotta shout him out. And, of course, you guys are broadcasting.
Well, I appreciate that. I know the boys in the booth do. Heck of a run, man. I picked you. I said until somebody proves me wrong, that's my pick, and made me look like a genius tonight. So I very much appreciate it.
I don't blame you for picking me. That was a good pick.
All right.
I liked it.
All right, Zach. Well, great race. You led every lap except 6 of them.
Wow.
Did you come into this race already knowing you were the guy to beat, or?
Oh yeah. I figured Dover, that's a lot of braking and that's a lot of, just have to feel the part a little bit. And I think I have a little bit of an edge, in my opinion, over the rest of the field. And I was pretty confident, and that paid off.
All right, brother. Gary, you got anything for our race winner tonight?
Nah, man, good run. It was interesting to see you being able to dominate, especially from the word go. So good run and good luck to you the rest of the way here.
Thank you.
All right, that is race winner Zachary Thornton, leading every lap but 6 tonight out of the 120. We will see him back at Michigan in 2 weeks' time. All right, now it's time for the second place driver, the 65 of the Raging Cajun graphics and wraps. Let's talk to Kyle Lingerfeld.
Current one.
Kyle, it's AJ, Gary, and TJ up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy, pal?
Yeah, I got you.
Holy crud, dude! I thought you pitting 3 laps after Zachary Thornton, it was gonna be an uphill battle, but dude, you got it under almost 4 seconds. You were driving that Toyota Camry completely on rails that last run. How'd the race go for you though?
The race was fun. The first half was pretty rough. I think we did 34 laps in 32 minutes, which is not impressive, but at least after that we were able to go green and had some fun. Needed those real long runs though to catch Zach. He had great short run speed, but I could get him at the end. Then I I managed to save too much, and that 4 seconds could have been less than that, or the other way had I not saved as much. So I'll take second for now. I think that'll put me in the points lead headed into the next round or next race at Michigan for the cutoff, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, TJ was talking about it that he was trying to do the math on the fly that it should put you in the lead heading into Michigan in 2 weeks.
You and Fox are going to be real close, but I think you've got the edge.
Yeah.
But speaking of TJ, you got anything for our second place finisher tonight, pal?
I mean, a heck of a run for you as well. It feels like you were second for dang near every lap tonight.
Yeah, thank you. I felt
Which,
that way too.
I mean, that's just good. Not the win, obviously, but the win is the points driver, and probably going to come out of here the points lead. I got to think that's good momentum. You think you can get it done over the final 2, or are you going to be the man hoisting the big cup at the end?
Plan. We'll see how the cards fall, but I think I've had good momentum all year, just a lot of bad luck. But now the bad luck's kind of shaken off. We're finally getting some finishes, so hopefully that can stay happening.
It's the best time for good luck. Is always at the end. I like it. Gary, you got anything for him?
No, man, just a good recovery. Definitely, if you didn't save as much, it would have been a little more interesting battle at the end. But good points tonight, nonetheless.
Yeah, learning experience. Now you know.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Appreciate it, guys. You
All
guys
right,
enjoy
Kyle.
it.
You have a wonderful week off. We will see you in the Irish Hills in 2 weeks.
Yes, sir. I'll talk to you then.
See ya. All right, Gary, we're setting this one up all for you. It's going to be a nice softball pitch. The driver of the 29 Voodoo graphics and design, it is Brandon Richardson. As I need to get the Discord to move him. There it is. Gary, all yours, pal.
Oh, Brandon, Gary Wells, and AJ and TJ all up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Got a copy.
All right, man. Hey, third place here tonight in your Voodoo car. Talk about your race, bud, start to finish. How about it?
Oh man. First of all, I didn't think I was going to qualify 10th. I thought I was going to qualify way worse than that. But I knew there was going to be some wrecks early on, so I was trying to kind of just play it safe. And luckily, I made it through them and had enough fuel to get to the end. and I didn't speed on pit road, which I thought was going to be hard because I practiced a couple times and I definitely sped every single time. So the 35-mile-per-hour speed limit is killer here.
Yeah, talk about that entrance into pit road. I mean, obviously practice didn't go so well, but I guess you made enough mistakes to hit it just right, perfect for the race, huh?
Yeah, I think I probably could have got a little bit more out of it, but I'd rather play it safe than sorry, especially being a playoff car and all that. So I was able to, I had some teammates in chat telling me what they were doing when they were pitting a little bit around when I was. So they helped out a lot. But yeah, I'm just glad to be done with it because it was tricky and it was slow and you just felt like you were getting lapped when you were on it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we go to Michigan here in a couple weeks. Super speedway track compared to this place, and a faster pit road speed, as I might mention.
There we go.
How do you feel about Michigan going there here in a couple weeks?
I actually like Michigan. They had it in the officials a couple weeks ago, and I ran pretty well in the Xfinity cars and the truck cars. I had a couple top fives in there. So hopefully I can do the same with the ARCA car. Hopefully I can get a win here soon. I mean, I'm in the playoffs. I got third, so hopefully we can string together something. I would like to at least, make it and actually get a win once.
Yeah, definitely a good point tonight for you. I was just getting ready to say, hopefully that shifts you into the right direction and gets you into the good here as we head to the second round of the playoffs here, or second race of this round rather. But any plugs or anything you want to shout out to?
Shout out my sponsor, Voodoo. He's the guy that makes all my paint schemes and all that stuff, graphics and designs. He's a good dude. And then my dad, Tony Richardson, he's usually in these races, but he's working out of state, so he's not able to be in there. So, and then all of my SER teammates, of course, and Dean and you guys, of course, for putting on the show.
All right, AJ, TJ, you guys got anything for him? I think I covered everything.
No, I think
You got it for the most part. The only thing I want to say to him is he's got one of my favorite cars. I love the colors. Looks very Gravedigger-esque.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Sure.
I appreciate it. I'll let him know.
I love it.
All righty. Well, good run for you tonight, Brandon. We'll catch you here in a couple weeks in Michigan.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the Extreme Forces Racing League on All-Star 15 TV. Final thoughts, Gary, putting you on the spot. Go.
Well, chaos early. I was hoping for chaos late, but it didn't happen. But it was good to see these guys single file out a little bit, and it was getting interesting there toward the end of the strategy. When do you come in and pit? How long do you stay out on your tires? How hard do you push at the beginning of the run when you come out of the pits? Overall, I thought it was a pretty solid race, and look forward to either watching or maybe with you guys next week. We'll see.
All right, TJ.
I mean, I think it's just the point battle going forward here. We're going to be with most of the point guys, other than the two that had trouble, really close together. It's going to be tight going into the next race. And we just can't wait and want to see how tight it does actually get at Michigan and who our four at Charlotte are. I'm excited for the future.
Yeah, I'm excited. Michigan is a wild card racetrack, in my opinion. Everybody can run well there. It's a very fast, I would call it high banked, 2 mile, kind of like Auto Club, but I think a little less bumpy. But here at Dover International Speedway, Zachary Thornton, Kyle Lingerfeld, Brandon Richardson, your top 3. Here's the rest of your top 10. 4th goes to Josh Fox. 5th to Travis Lapenas. Dylan Dunford in 6th. Matthew Setzer in 7th. 8th goes to Alan Warnicki, bouncing back quite a bit to still finish positive 5 positions from his start. 9th is Farron Elam, and 10th is Frank Hughes. Overall, a fun evening. First time in a long time having 3 people up in the broadcast booth. But for TJ Barnier, Gary Wells, I am AJ Capola. You all have a wonderful, safe week off. We will see you September 12th in the Irish Hills of Michigan at Michigan International. We will see you then, everybody.
Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.